Hi, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns, and you're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role-playing games with friends. This is the second session of Burning Hearts Forever, which I'm running as part of Star Wars Saturdays. Star Wars Saturdays is this anthology campaign I've been running for the Gauntlet community. The Gauntlet is a community of online fans and aficionados of small press, indie, and OSR styled tabletop role playing games. And Star Wars Saturdays is my love letter to Star Wars, while also my love letter to small press games. And every month I take a different RPG. If I need to hack it to be a Star Wars RPG, I will. For this game, there is no hacking required. Burning Hearts, it does not have an exactly explicitly designed setting. There are lots of scenarios included with the game, which you can purchase on itch. And we're playing it in Star Wars. The time setting is after Emperor Palpatine fell down a shaft in the Death Star that blew up, which means he's never coming back. A year or so after. The New Republic is growing, but there are still Imperial remnants. There are places where the Empire holds sway, and there is a large stretch of area of planets, a sector of the galaxy known as Zinj's Empire, Zinj being Z-S-I-N-J. He was a moff or a muckety-muck in Imperial times who decided, I know Palpatine's dead, but I'm gonna hold on to the spirit of this totalitarianistic enforcement, and I'll just declare myself the warlord of the Empire. The player characters are Jedi who are studying under a woman who calls herself a Doyen rather than a master. Her name is Cere JUNDA. Cere was alive during Order 66 and lost a great deal. She's been through some of her own trials and tribulations, but has come out the other side and is a Jedi Master, except she wanted to set up a Jedi Academy quite different from the official one that is being set up by Luke Skywalker. And we're exploring that with Burning Hearts Forever. Burning Hearts Forever, powered by the Apocalypse game that has hearts as an actual thing that you create, that has magical, mystical, or technological power that you fuel with your emotions. And we are doing that through the idea of Jedi. The location where we are, and then we're going to get into play, but just to make sure we have a sense of place, is Spaceport Trident Vespa, which is a spaceport located within Zinj's Empire, that aforementioned place. So it is technically under Imperial control. However, it sits in the middle of an asteroid field, and there's a small Imperial presence here because the sector's governor takes kickbacks from the Merchant Guild that runs the spaceport. Therefore, there's a smaller Imperial presence, and the spaceport is home not only for merchants and travelers, but a few pirate crews who, as long as they don't hit Imperial targets, can get away with what they do, and some Void Vulture teams, and those are scavengers, and also our Jedi. In last session, the crew, the PCs, I don't know what to call a lot of you, our fledgling Jedi is what I have written in the character keeper. Our fledgling Jedi decided to go out to their favorite little cantina and try to enjoy themselves. So they headed out to Unmo's Tavern, where Unmo considers himself a bit of a music buff, and he had some live music there. A metal band, a space metal band known as Haunted Titan, was playing, and their lead singer Ratataki was singing very anti-imperialistic dogma, lots of super rebellious punk stylings, just not in basic, the common language. And evidently someone understood what they were saying and ratted them out. And so some Imperials showed up, a big fight broke out, and 3 of our fledgling Jedi left with Haunted Titan to run out into the night after beating up some stormtroopers, while one of our fledgling Jedi escaped the violence with her childhood friend, who is now the commander of the Imperials on this not Imperial space station. Is there anything that I missed in my long and windy monologue about what happened in our first session? Let's pick up with Cere. So Sherry, if you could give us a brief description of Cere as you're hustling with Commander Martain Argal and some of his stormtrooper guards as you're rushing across the spaceport to someplace safe.
Yes, because I've been wounded. So I think one of the things is they arrested the Trandoshan, right? So it's essentially the two stormtroopers, the Trandoshan, Commander Martin Argal, and myself. And I think there's that thing where she's hurt and she turns and she like catches the Trandoshan's eye and she goes, I wasn't going to attack him. I was there to make sure that no one else did. And she like looks at him, like does that thing of like, you were protected, you know, like that's your story, you know.
Ooh, nice. I love that. I want to see if he gets it. Let's get a move here on the table. All right.
No, what did I set myself up for?
I want to see you throw your charm. When you use your charm on someone, roll with hot.
Okay. So that's at least a +1. Let's see. Did I bring up the right? Oh no. Hold on a second while I get to
that's
the roller.
Okay. Your hot is a 1.
Okay. Yeah, so it's not horrible.
No,
it's not Janella awesome, but you know, that's okay. And 2d6, and I'm going to add 1 to the result.
Yes.
Oh, 4, 5.
Yeah. So yeah, that is a fail.
Sad. Is there any way to boost these things?
So that is a great question.
Because I'm always about paying the price.
The answer, the short answer is you're kind of screwed. Okay, but in a longer answer, as we talk about how to help, let's see. I am looking really quick to see. I think you do it with. Didn't we talk about pulling strings?
Yeah.
And since you don't have any strings on this,
someone else has to. Yeah, that's okay. I tried.
So Garsk the Trandoshan looks at you for a moment, and he gets it. He's desperate. He does not want, and he says, "It's right. You and I, we were saving the commander. You and I were in this together." And he grabs hold of your shoulder, which, if I remember, that was what was injured. Was that?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, like he grabs hold of your shoulder fiercely, and you get 1 more harm because he does not realize what he's doing in his eagerness to to be okay. And that's enough to cause you to stumble. And you fall to the Duracrete. And that's when Commander Argal, who was on a comm, like he was paying attention to you, but then also trying to command, he's called in reinforcements. You see that there is one of those. I just always use this because I lusted after the toy as a child. APC carrier thing with the stormtroopers on the sides, it goes and zips across the spaceport and comes right up to the bar and into Unmo's tavern, and they're all rushing in and calling to each other as Commander Argal sees you fall, Cere, and he realizes exactly how bad you're off. And the Trandoshan, who now has your blood on his hand, he's like, "Whoa, I didn't do it!" And Argal like kneels down beside you and he says, Cere, I didn't know it was this bad. Someone give me some Bacta spray.
She sort of looks like she's confused that it's this bad. Does that make any sense?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, she's been powering through it. Yeah, and I think she turns and she goes, He thought I was going to attack you.
In all of this, I'm doing this thing. I'm giving you a condition. So you did take a little bit of harm, but I think the real move is that you're going to have to take a condition from all
Okay, I
craziness.
will.
Which condition do you think suits you right now?
Ooh. Let's see here. Guilty?
Guilty. Yeah, you feel guilty. All right.
Yeah,
Go
because
ahead.
I'm trying to manipulate my friend so that this doesn't end up with someone getting, like, I don't want any bloodshed out of this situation other than
Nice.
my own.
I mean, that can't be
Exactly.
helped.
It's already done. So, but I will take the additional harm, right?
Yeah. So you're sitting at 3 harm with when you don't have your heart.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, that is bad. So at this point, he's not going to let you stand up. And yeah, right. You did have a miss, so please do mark XP.
Okay.
Thank you for the reminder. Fair, it's like an angel on her shoulder. A good, positive, helpful angel.
I don't know what I would do without you. Have always saved me from myself. And
XP's down on row 83.
okay, that's very intuitive. Heading there. Thank you.
And he directs a couple of the stormtroopers to like pick you up, and he orders for a speeder. Like he can't remember requisitions. Like there's an actual person who's about like on a speeder, and he has a couple stormtroopers stop them, and they are now authorized to carry you and the commander. He is speeding you off to the Imperial garrison because they have medical facilities there. Is there anything that you wanted to do before you are whisked off? Oh, you're talking to me, Sherry.
I think like there's that thing where he's sort of bundling her in, and she sort of goes, I went through a lot just to have an excuse to talk to you. And then she sort of laughs.
I promise that we will have some time to talk in just a moment, Cere, but I need to make sure you can survive the conversation. And yeah, that's his entire intent. Is he is super worried about you. It's so adorable. Now, I am actually, yeah, I think what I'm going to do is just on the Spaceport Trident Vespa tab, I'm inserting an image over cells just so you guys have a look at it, because we're about to cut to the ship of the Haunted Titan, or the Titan. There's the ship that they call home. Well, oh, and I will quickly share. So it's a YT 2400 freighter. It is not in great shape. So I'm curious if each of you, as you enter, can give me an idea of. This is there we go. I'm gonna shrink it so we can get it on one screen. So as you enter this saucer-looking behemoth, what is one thing? I'm going to ask each of you this. We're going to build a little bit of the aspects of this this ship, which you are entering now with the Haunted Titan. So the first question is, as you guys are entering this, I'll ask Bitron, what is one thing that is disturbingly broken inside this ship that you notice immediately?
I think Mitron was worried about them escaping, but getting off the space station.
Mm-hmm.
But then he realizes the oxygen filtration units that like replace carbon monoxide and all that stuff are missing. So if they are up, they have very limited oxygen.
They have very limited oxygen. Okay. So they're oxygen replacement units. Nice. Then Janella, as you're entering this place, what is one thing that is an obvious patch or an attempt to fix something broken on this ship?
So I think like there's just so much, like all the panels are like basically taken off and things are held together with space duct tape and whatnot.
I like it.
Spuck tape, I guess.
Space tape. Cool. Is there any one aspect of the ship's systems or its look that is most concerning to you?
Yeah, their hyperdrive isn't looking too great.
Now, if you take a look at the map of this little thing, it's got some number key to it. The lounge is where a lot of you head in. You're tired. You've run at this point. At some point, you ran across the spaceport, ducked between containers and other ships, and made your way here. You're in the lounge. Lounge is number 7, so it's near the center of the ship there. And Shraho, did I do that right? To say Shraho? Did I pronounce it correct? Shroud. I knew I was like, that doesn't taste right. What is the Ratataki piece of art or treasure that you see that obviously the whole reason you're here is Boxa wanted you to see it?
There is a I think the way it's set up, there is a spear that is broken in half and just laid on the table, like in the centerpiece. And it looks like a broken garbage kind of a thing, but she will, if you are not allowed to touch it. It is where it is supposed to be. Do not touch the trophy.
That's Box's attitude about it?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Shroud.
And as a Ratataki, I would probably know you don't touch a conquest trophy.
Nice. And you guys are there. We get to meet the rest of the band, Haunted Titan. There's Lariash, aka Larry the Wookiee, who the camera picks up that from the knee down, he's wearing these boots, but it's pretty obvious there's no fur coming out of those. Yes, Larry the Wookiee is pretty bananas. Someone added it. I'm rolling with it and it tickles me. So it looks like maybe he doesn't have any fur from like the knee down. There's our Nautilin, who was the lead guitarist, Shrux Didi. And then the bass guitarist is a Rhodian. Her name is Sticky Fingers Fisk. But Boxa being the lead singer. Another thing that you see here in the lounge, Shroud, is that Boxa, there are a bunch of just like droid heads, old droid heads. Like there's a Clone Wars era, one of the battle droids, and then there's a protocol droid and the like, and they all have these different colored, very fanciful wigs. Boxa had lost a wig when she flew off the stage to tackle a stormtrooper. but it turns out that she has a large number of hairstylings. But she walks over to the spear and runs her fingers along it, looks over at you, Shroud, our Radataki. What's your reaction? She wants you. She wants something out of this.
I think Shroud will like just does a little bow, and I will not contest your conquests. As like a kind of like a formal, almost like ceremonial thing. I don't know if that's what she was looking for, but Shroud is always the like, I will do the perfect right thing, and
Of course.
in this situation, that feels like
a thing that you do to placate somebody.
Yes.
She says, "It's too bad. It's too bad. I mean, it could be yours if you're willing to fight for it."
Know how to pick my battles.
Yeah, and that's the perfect opening for Larry. I know. They were stormtroopers, though. What? You guys, I can't believe that this stupid spaceport is.
You gotta learn how to
teeming with-
watch your six there, Boxa.
What? I thought that's what you're for. What's your name again?
Janella, and I'm pretty sure that's not what I'm for.
No, that's what Cere's for. Where's Cere?
No flarking clue.
Fark.
She ran off at some point. I think she ran off with that Imperial person.
What?
What? Wait, what?
Yeah.
Friend of yours ran off with the imps? Was she captured or something?
No.
We're gonna go with yes.
I think yes.
Yeah, I think like Shroud's about to say no, and like Bitron just like
Yes.
glares at her. Like,
Well, you guys, listen. We're gonna need to take off.
In this?
It's our home. Yeah, this is the trouble.
How far do you think you're gonna get
As far as we need to.
with that hyperdrive?
you have no oxygen filters. Is as far as you need to go dead?
And I think that's when the solitary droid trips will come in, clink, 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 clink. And amid all the detritus and just kind of bric-a-brac and crap, because there's like clothes thrown everywhere. This is like a teenager's bedroom, the lounge. There's a bunch of like, cracks in the sofa that have been fixed with duct tape kind of thing, space duct tape. As we've already aforementioned, all the space duct tape here. And the droid comes in and looks around. Oh, yes, those are on my to-do list. I will have them fixed in approximately 3 days. What? Wait, which ones? I have updated my project list if you would like to read it. No,
3
I
days
want
is
you to
fine,
fix it.
Boxa, since you owe me, so you can help us get our friend back. I'm gonna pull a string.
Nice. All right, so let's talk about pulling strings. You can pull a string to add to a roll. You can inflict vulnerable as a condition on someone, and additionally, strings can be used to tempt characters. So you're trying to tempt.
I believe so.
Yeah, tempt Boxa, and non-player characters will do what they're tempted to do with the narrator's discretion. That's me, but I'm
Okay.
going to call myself an MC. They might ask for something in return or require more than just one string to be spent. I think Boxa looks at you. So you three are going to go up against the imps to get your friend out?
Yeah, sure. Like, it's just like one I don't know, squadron or whatever. It can't be that hard, right?
Boxen nods a couple times like she's psyching herself up. You
Don't
in
think that's-
this? She says in Rada talk to you, Shroud.
Uh, I think, yeah. I think Shroud looks back and also in Ratatak says, yes, I will protect my hunting companion because Ratatak doesn't have a word for friend.
Oh, nice. I love that. Good. What's your name? Twi'lek?
I'm Bitron.
Are you down for this, Bitron?
I think he responds in Rat Attack. It's like, yeah, of course.
She grins. All right. Larry, she introduces all of you. She says, oh, right. Since we're all going into battle against the Imperials, this is Larry, Shrux, Sticky, and that's Trips, our droid. Everybody knows everybody. Great. Let's figure out how we're gonna get your friend out. Do you know where she was last? She's probably not still at the Cere. That's a girl name, right? Just guessing.
It's a name.
All right. Cool. So your friend's probably not at the bar, probably at the garrison. Anybody got any details on that place?
Not really. We could do some recon. We could knock some troopers out, take their uniforms. We could do the classic, the break-in by escorting a prisoner.
That's classic.
Yeah, it works every single time.
She looks around at the others. They're like, they have no idea what you're talking about.
You've never broken into an Imperial garrison before? Well, you live, you learn.
I'm sure this will be like great fodder for songs.
Mhm. Plus, you'll get to kick some Imperial ass. So.
Oh, Box is down for this. I think Sticky Fingers, though, she's gonna be like, hey, I think if we need to get out of here, it might be good if we could. I'm gonna stay back and help Trips with, fixing things. Box says, I guess. I guess it'd be good to fix stuff, but you've never. Okay, fine.
Wow, you got a roadie with a backbone. Rare.
Wait, I'm not a roadie. I'm the guitarist.
Isn't the guitarist a Rhodian or is that the not one?
Oh, I thought you said roadie.
Rhodian. No, a Rhodian without a backbone.
Yeah, a Rhodian without a backbone. Sorry, I thought you said a roadie without a backbone. Anyway,
No.
she's trying to duck out of this. She does not want to truck with a bunch of Imperials at a what has been called a garrison. But it seems like Strux, who really hasn't spoken, isn't objecting, and Larry seems to go wherever Baxa goes. So you've got some folks going with you if you want, or if you guys wanted to break up so the PCs are doing a thing and the NPCs just show up when you want them to, that's cool too. What are you thinking about this, Shroud? How do you want to organize things?
I think Frau is not letting on that she has probably been to this garrison at least once.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe helping Cere get in, like scout out the thing. I don't know if Cere is the kind of person that would like snoop on their friend when they knew their friend was in town, and Frau was like helping them, covering for them essentially. So I think the way that Trow is going to run this is like trying to not just blurt out, "Oh, we need to go this way," because she's afraid that they'll figure out that she knows more than she's letting on.
Cool. And are you imagining that you guys are all traveling as a pack, which is, I will tell you, going to be more dangerous to remain unseen? Or do you guys want to break up into a group?
I think I think this is a kind of a split thing. It sounds like the band is all gung-ho to bash some heads. And so maybe we send a group of them off to be a diversion, and then the rest of us kind of try and sneak in, grab Cere and get out. Kind of a plan.
I think Boxa brashly asks, "Wait, are you saying that I can't be stealthy?"
No, I'd say you seemed very excited about bashing faces in about half an hour ago.
Oh, I know. I don't want to be stealthy. I was making a joke. Yeah, let's do this. I like this plan. Good luck getting your friend out. We'll cause as much trouble as we can, and then if we've got to go, we're going to go.
All right, so Zhao, you and I disguise ourselves as stormtroopers, and we'll escort Bitron in. No offense, Bitron, but your head doesn't really fit in the helmet.
Looks at both
We're-
Fleku.
Look, I mean, we're like, I'm a very short stormtrooper.
So there's always some runts of the litter. Haven't you heard that famous phrase? Aren't you a little short to be a stormtrooper? Stormtroopers say that all the time.
Don't think they do.
I've got a
but
great feeling about this.
Fine.
This is
We'll go
all
with your
from her
plan.
filming days, isn't it? This is all plot lines from.
She's throwing out old lines from Hearts of the Force. Yep. There we go.
Stormtroopers didn't exist in that series. Get real.
It's true. It didn't. Cool. Let's cut to Cere. You are in a totally like 70s sci-fi, bright white medical office. And there is one of the B1 medical droids that's there, and they finished spraying some back to spray on your wound. And yeah, this is when we will pause to do highlighting because otherwise I'm going to keep rolling on. Let's do highlighting at the beginning of the session, which I guess we're at the beginning. Anyway, at the beginning of the session, we will do highlights, which means that you look at your stats and highlight one stat. Then you look to see who has the most strings on you, and that player gets to choose what to highlight. Start with Bitron.
Well, seeing as what we're walking into, I'm highlighting daring.
And if we look to see who has the most on Bitron,
Be Cere.
yeah,
Ooh. I like that. Let's see here.
And do whatever you like.
No, it's so good. I want you to read a person at some point in here.
That's fair. Okay, I'm highlighted up.
perfect. Next up is Janella.
I want to highlight cold.
It looks like Bitron is going to highlight your other stat.
Yeah. Bitron's got so
Yeah, we're gonna need someone to be able to talk, so I will highlight your odds.
All right, Shroud.
I will highlight my sharp. And then I think it's again Bitron.
Bitron
It
is the string
is.
master.
I am. Oh, what to make you try to do? I highlighted daring last time, so again, I think I'll stay nice and highlight cold.
Oh, so nice. And then last but not least, Cere, what do you want to highlight?
I will highlight my hawk. And then I think, is it Janella who has?
I think it's me.
Oh, is it? Oh, wow.
yes,
Awesome.
it's Drow.
I have 4. And I think I will highlight your. I will highlight your sharp.
Ooh, okay. Good.
And we have had a few rolls, so those will be retroactive, which means that you got hot highlighted and you rolled hot earlier, Kier. So mark yourself a second XP there.
Wait, an
Oh, no,
XP
it's
or a
just
pulse?
Oh, you're right. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you very much. XP on a miss. Highlight is for pulse. Dang it. Oh, the worst. All right. And
And what do we do with pulse again?
you may increase your pulse when rolling specific stats. You spend your accumulated pulse to re-roll moves or to share it with others when you have an intimate moment with them. You use your
Okay, so
current pulse as a modifier.
That's how you do a reroll.
Yeah,
Right.
there we go.
Just reading the thing, it does say that you have to be wielding your heart in order to re-roll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, good one, good one. And that's the thing that I wanted to, but now that we're paused, I'm hoping that we're in scenes when hearts are going to come out, because I'm excited to see how that set of mechanics work. So I think an action sequence going up against some Imperials seems like the perfect opportunity. So thank you all for setting this up. So Kier, you are in the what accounts for the med bay in this garrison. There's a B1 droid that's filing and then wiping away some of the blood, and you get to heal 2 harm from the back to treatment. The B1 droid says, pauses while looking at your wounds, and it says, apologies, but you require a Bacta tank for any further healing, and I am not authorized to place a non-officer in the Bacta tank.
That's perfectly reasonable.
And Commander Commander Algal, Martin, he made sure you got delivered here, and then he had to go. Like, he's got to deal with this big riot that happened. That's what it's being called now. That happened at Unmo's Tavern. So, what do you do, Kier?
Let's see here. I think I get dressed. And I turn back to the droid, and I say, I would like to leave a message for the commander.
Of course. I have perfect recall. I am the most excellent messenger, except I am not authorized to leave this medical facility.
And she nods and she goes, I simply wanted to ask how I might leave one to his comms. Essentially, she's asking for an email address.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So the B1 droid will provide you with the comm unit details.
All right. And she will leave a message. And she goes, I know this day turned busy. I will meet you. And she will choose like an observatory deck. She says they're at 9 this evening, and if not this evening, perhaps the next.
Cool. So you set a date with Martine, leave your message, and when you start to walk out of the medical facility, there's a stormtrooper who's standing just outside. And when you start to exit, he says, I'm sorry, you're gonna need to stay confined into the medical bay, ma'am.
But they're done.
Yeah, that's great. Please stay there.
And sort of stops and says, I have a great deal to do. If you need questions or anything like that, I can certainly tell you where you could find me.
Yes, in the medical bay where you will be staying.
She goes,
Please, I can set this to stun if need be.
She sort of stops and she goes, can you tell me why I'm being held?
I've been asked to make sure that you are here when the commander is ready to see you again.
And she sort of stops and says, but isn't he taking care of some civil situation? That can take a lot of time.
Mm-hmm. You see, like, clicks the blaster rifle over to stun.
So you're going to stun me?
If need be, ma'am. You could just head back inside and there's no trouble at all.
And she sort of stops and goes, I think there may be some trouble.
Nice.
And then, yeah, so he's going to stun me with this thing?
That's his intent.
That's
He's
his
going to
intent. Okay.
shoot you with a stunner unless, and if you don't back off and go inside for him to close the door, or if you come at him, either of those things, he is going to try to shoot you. Do you want to do something about that?
Yeah,
I see in the notes that someone wants you to fitty or something.
To fitty, yeah. But I know. I'm all for it. No, I think that I can just call up my heart, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I think there's that thing that, yeah, my intent is I'll just push my heart up and I'm going to push him back into the bay is essentially the thing.
Push them
It's
where you
just-
want for
Yeah,
free?
exactly.
Nice.
Just go flunk and then sort of, I'd say lock the door for a moment and then just leave. So-
Okay. All right, cool. So you pull up the power of the force. What do we see? Because of course I'm a super visual person.
Yeah,
You've
I
got
think
those
there's a
pieces.
thing where he's looking down and he looks up at me and I just do this and he sort of flings back into the bay. Yeah. And then she just kind of like when the door shuts, because he's cleared it, I assume that I can, like with the force, at least do some little
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no problem. You're a
electrical
Jedi.
trick. Yeah, exactly.
And just so I'm clear, you didn't shove him back into a wall. You actually pulled him into the medical bay and
Yeah, I
slammed
pushed him
against-
back into the medical
and then you
bay.
closed the medical bay with
Yes.
with the big one choices. A new patient. Cool. We cut to our three fledgling Jedi. Bitron, you guys are trying to sneak in there. You hear an explosion at a distant part of Spaceport Trident Vespa as Baxa and the Haunted Titan group are making a mess. And the garrison there, you see again, the APC takes off. So they've got some guys that are still stationed at the tavern. Now some are being sent off to wherever that explosion was. But yeah, you've got this. So what do you want to do? The garrison, big, kind of square, metallic, imposing Imperial design.
I think Bitron, like since are the other two like going to get their stormtrooper outfits at the moment? Has Bitron been left alone, or is
we can totally have Janella and Shroud as stormtroopers right now? That sounds
okay? Yeah,
just fine for me.
Then as they're getting ready with like getting the armor on, I think Bitron will like do this, at least for him, uncommon thing, like close his eyes, start taking like deep calming breaths. He remembers when Cere JUNDA like used him to find this spaceport with the force powers, and he's going to try and pinpoint Cere with his force powers to see how she's doing. And I'd like to use the force to read her from afar.
Nice. So just mechanically, you are using Read her from afar. Is that a heart thing that you can
It's
do,
not.
or-
It's just the basic sharp move, but I'm like trying.
Okay.
I'm doing it from afar.
Okay, cool. The basic sharp move would be read
a
a
person.
person, and you want to try to do it from afar.
Yeah.
That sounds interesting to me. So you'll be rolling with sharp, but I think if you want to spend a pulse, so I think you'll do it with disadvantage, but if you spend a pulse, then you can basically cancel that out and roll it as 2d6 plus sharp. Does that sound fair?
And I'll spend a pulse. So
Okay.
I'll get a pulse from doing this anyway.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So let's see how bad it goes anyway. Oh, it did not go bad. That's
Didn't go
7.
bad at all.
And now I have 3 rising stormholds, so all my rolls get +1 ongoing.
Ooh, Rising Storm. Now I want to play Riders on the Storm by the Doors. And I just want to.
Yeah, so I think that gives
You get to ask a question. You get to ask up to 2 questions, and Cere gets to ask you one back.
yeah. So
So
I
what's
think-
what's the visual as Bitron reaches out and has this kind of psychic conversation with Cere, right? Because you're
Yeah.
reaching through the force. Is that what you were thinking?
yeah, I feel like he like closes his eyes, starts breathing. There's this moment where like little rocks are floating around him as he's doing this bit of concentration, and suddenly the rocks just clatter to the floor. He opens his eyes, but I think when he opens his eyes, they're Cere's eyes, and when Cere opens her eyes, they're Bitron's eyes.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, and so Cere, to the best of your knowledge, where are you?
Oh, I think you might be talking on mute, Sherry.
And she goes, I'm right outside an Imperial med bay.
Okay, and I think he will
And she sort of looks around and she goes, why have you been arrested? Because of course they're with in stormtrooper outfits.
I think there's like a skein of joviality as he like he would be laughing if they were there.
Mhm.
It's like, oh no, we're coming to rescue you.
Oh, well, I was just leaving.
That'll make this much easier. Where can we meet you?
And she sort of looks out. Can I ascertain where they are? She goes,
Help me understand the they.
my companions.
Okay,
I can see
so-
them. So does that make any
So you can do a bit of seeing the thing around the things
Mhm.
around Bitron, and you see that they are. I imagine you guys were coming in the front door, right? Because you've got a prisoner, so why would you be sneaky about it? So they are across the street from the garrison, which is
sense? Okay.
that. I mean, I'm that's what I would imagine. Anyone have any objections?
We're probably like on like some kind of like hill near the garrison or something like that, like some outcropping as like Bitron.
Oh, the garrison's like right in the middle of the spaceport. So
then
actually, if you look at the map on the spaceport Trident Vesta, I haven't numerated it, but it's basically right to the right of where number 3 is.
yeah,
That's the
so-
Trident Clinic and that large building, which I'll add that
yeah,
in.
I assume we're probably in a building putting on these outfits.
Sure.
'cause I
Yeah,
don't
that
think
makes
we're-
the most
yeah.
sense. That is.
I don't think we're like putting on the stormtrooper outfits like in the street so people would notice.
No,
I
you
like
are
it.
smart.
All right. And she probably doesn't recognize then the inside of whatever building you're in. She goes, well, I'm not far from, like, am I in the Imperial building? Is
Yes,
that where she
you
goes?
are.
She goes, well, I can meet you. How about it? And she sort of looks and she goes, there's a side door off to the thing, and she'll give like the coordinates for it. So it's like you guys are over in that other building next to it. She's like suggesting she's going to come out the side door into that parking lot right there between the two of them.
Yeah. So Bitron will, I think, like, as soon as Janella and Drow get the last piece of stormtrooper armor on, change your plans, guys.
I'm already in
How
costume. I'm not
helmet is,
changing.
like,
Well, you can keep the armor on if you want. We're going to the side door.
Oh, okay.
Brown helmet is like cocked at 45 degrees because it's way too big and won't fit.
I can see it just kind
Adjusting
of
it.
wobbles
Yes,
a
it's
little bit
like,
like a. You look like a. Oh shoot, the bobblehead. Yeah, a little bit like a bobblehead. That's great.
Yeah. I think Bitron's like last words to Cere, unless she wants to ask. I think she asked her question, but it was stay safe and may your tails touch the floor one day.
Keep hoping.
Which is, I think, to me, is a Twi'lek saying of may you live long, long
Right.
enough for your head tails to touch the floor.
Awesome.
I like that phrase.
I like that a lot.
Cool. I think, friends, you're doing something a little bit risky. Like you've removed some of the risk, but it's still risky to go meet your friends in borrowed stormtrooper armor. So who would like to lead that risky venture?
Danella's plan.
Well, there you go.
You're damn right, it's my plan.
All right. So Janella, you're trying to do something risky.
All right.
You act with precision and care against immediate threat. Roll with cold.
What's the immediate threat?
Immediate threat is that there are a bunch of Imperials going all around this place. They're on high alert. They've had.
All right. I
called
didn't
their
know if it was
tavern.
like a situation where I can, no, escorting a prisoner.
Oh, you could try that. That's what you're trying to do, but
Yeah,
there's
sure.
still a risk of.
I didn't
knowing
know
the
if
right
I could
code
talk my
or-
way out of it or not.
I see what you're saying. Well, doesn't look like doing something risky is. If you want to just lead in with trying to throw your charm, I'm open to that. But
Yeah,
doing
totally.
something
I mean-
risky is more of a physical act.
Yeah. I mean, do you think it's more risky than it is trying to bluff our way by? I'm good with either. Doesn't matter.
I mean, the whole idea is you guys set up a bluff, so I'm cool with throwing charm. That makes sense.
Okay.
You've talked me into it. It seems the most logical.
Yeah, we've got a seditionist here. We gotta take them in, and there's too much stuff going on at the front entrance.
Nice.
So
Yes, exactly. Got meta. Let's see how this goes.
it's an 11. Plus, I get a pulse, right?
Wow, that is a really good roll. So you say, oh, you got to good Twi'leks.
Yeah, I know, right?
Rebel scum.
I don't know about that. They're just seditionists.
Rebel scum, seditionists. Same difference. Throw them in the brig.
Sure, totally, yeah.
So Cere, you see that they have talked their way in, and you're kind of peeking at. So you guys walked right in, right? So I'm imagining there's like a front desk kind of setup. I imagine, and so you spoke with a stormtrooper who was there. You guys have made your way in. You've been let inside. You've got a prisoner. Cere, how do you want to get the heck out of here? Just
Well,
run
I
for
think
it?
here's
What
the
you wanna
thing
do?
is I had no idea they were going to come in. Like, does that make any sense? And so
I
she
know.
sort of is coming down the hallway and she sees them standing there with Breton. Like they're going to get him in, and she goes, like that's her thing. Is like, what? And she's like, okay. And she'll sort of drop back because now she's not sure how she can approach them without interrupting whatever it is they're doing. So I do think that like she will like peek out, hoping that one of them will catch her, see her. And then she'll go
We're gonna
back.
close the doors behind us. The whooshy doors.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think Trow, you're the one who picks out that Cere is trying to watch you guys surreptitiously, and then I guess I'm having a little trouble making sure we're all on the same page from a space, and I wish I had a map of the garrison, because I worry about that. But rather than a whole lot of back and forth and the like, do we want to just roll this to someone doing something risky to get you out of there?
Well, it has become risky because mostly it's that we have to get Breton out of here now that we've declared him a
That's true.
prisoner.
I mean, we gotta get both of you out of there. Like,
Yeah, so I love the image of like the doors close behind us. Shroud takes her helmet off. Cere, we're over here.
And she sort of steps up and she goes, "What are you doing? I was just gonna walk up the door."
you do realize there's a, like, it's a war zone, right? You won't just be able to walk out by yourself
She goes, "Why is it a war zone?"
because we came to rescue you.
And she sort of says, "So you," and she kind of looks and she goes, "What happened while I was getting healed?"
We may have caused a riot to come save you.
You
I
do not
don't-
get to judge us because you're the one that was captured.
It goes, I was trying to prevent
I want to
any
burn
harm.
bridges.
Sure,
All I
sure
did
you
was
were.
create a distraction,
Mhm,
and I made
okay.
sure that no shots were fired.
Bitron looks at her shoulder.
Yes, one shot was fired, but it hit me because it was fine.
So we
It
can't
ended
go
up
that way
here,
anymore.
So I don't know about fine.
Well, we can't go that way because there's a stormtrooper right on the other side that just watched us go in.
You know,
So we can't
we
really.
could just take him out.
I guess we could find out. I didn't
We've
really
got
wanna-
lightsabers, right? I mean, come on.
That's not.
One of you has a lightsaber.
Stop.
You not have lightsabers?
I have a lightsaber,
Okay.
but
And we
but,
got
like,
these, we got rifles in hands that we stole from the troopers.
And you see Kier go, okay, all right. So we can either go out the front or we can go out the other side door where they may not be expecting us.
I mean, we're all on the same page. We're probably shooting our way out of here, right?
Do we just want a new door then?
Sure.
Ooh.
It's a garrison. If you want to blow a hole in this bitch, if you can blow a hole in this bitron, I go for it. This is an Imperial
think that's-
garrison, right? We
why
don't
you-
need to
no.
care about it.
Oh God, we're gonna be in so much trouble.
From who?
Why?
The local government? Like,
Yeah, I
they
think
care?
Bitron like places a calming hand on Shroud's shoulder. Don't worry. They're the enemies. This will be fine. And I'm going to start powering up my heart.
Like,
And I think she stops and she goes, let me show you a place that is more likely to be easy to egress. And essentially, she'll look through for like the lounge room, like essentially it's such just something on the outer wall. So just probably if we put one in here, no one will take note right away. We'll be able to wander out.
All right. So you've led them to the very meager lounge area, which has a mostly broken auto chef, and of course they would have vending machines so that the Empire can make more money.
Mhm.
And Bitron, you're going to summon the storm and try to open a hole in basically a plasteel wall. That sounds crazy.
It sounds like a stupid idea, but it is what I'm going to try to do.
All right.
Let's see.
So my heart is by definition a 3 harm far brace weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess this means I will be rolling daring against the wall to assault it, or
Yeah. Now, braced means the heart must be braced in a specific position to be used. How do you brace it? What does that look like?
I think this is him holding on to the shard at his neck
Mm-hmm.
and remembering, like sort of like going through the unconscious collective of the Twi'lek memories of his people. And he is tying himself back to the planet he is exiled from.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I'm just trying to make sure we're on the same page of how you're what move you're rolling this into, because engaging in conflict with a wall doesn't feel right to me
Yeah, that's
because
what
you
I was
can't trade
thinking.
blows with it. I could see it as doing something risky.
Yeah, I could see it as like doing something risky to try and take out the wall.
Okay. Then you'll be rolling with cold.
Okay, so this will be flat with my rising storm.
Yeah.
Much better, as I will probably not get a 12 plus and go crazy.
Come on, 12 plus. I mean, good luck. Oh,
Nope. No, that is
wow.
very bad luck.
Okay. Here is what happens. I
You
am going to
spend
say,
multiple strings. I mean,
I mean, yes.
Yeah. Let's.
do we want to? That's the question. I want to see the miss actually.
I do
so.
too.
Okay. So
Like if you were at a 9 or a 6, I'd probably.
Well, the good
do
thing
it,
is I
but-
now have 4 rising storm holds, so every move I have is advanced on a 12 plus.
So in the spirit of this is an anime inspired game, and you have failed, I think that what happens is you let forth this storm, you destroy this wall. The vending machines are mashed, like the force just blows this hole out, and it's area, right? You add area to your heart from your choice. I think everyone gets to mark a condition from this massive explosion that's happened near you. Like you braced yourself to a degree, but still you're near ground zero for a very large explosion. So everybody gets to mark a condition.
And I think
you
what it
see the
is, like,
dust. Oh yeah, go ahead.
like he's holding his heart, like he's remembering all these memories from the Twi'leks, and then it goes to the memory of his father going up into the service of a hut instead of Bitron himself, like that final goodbye, and like it just snaps his concentration.
Made a note of Bitron's father.
What the cark, Bitron?
Shao, what condition do you mark?
Oh, I can spend 2 pulse to reroll my heart.
Oh, that's true. You could do that.
Oh shit. could turn
We
out
haven't
even
moved far
worse.
past this. Do you?
Yeah, we're far past
because
this,
we're
so
still
yeah.
learning.
No, I'm fine with this. I want
Okay,
the failure.
so mark the XP for the fail. Shroud, what condition do you mark from this traumatic experience? Oh, you're talking on mute, Sam.
Thank you for reminding me. I'm definitely insecure. I'm definitely like, this is a bad idea. This is confirming that this was a bad idea. This is everything is going wrong.
Nice. Cere, what do you mark from as a condition?
Angry, just angry that they have. Yeah, I think it's just like the whole thing of this is such a ridiculous situation because they completely misunderstood what's going on. And I am angry at myself as much as anything because I cannot figure out how to deal with Janella when they are set on a path.
You cannot even. You're all
And
out of
even. I'm like, oh, I'm like looking at Janella.
Which is a perfect moment to jump to Janella. What condition do you mark?
So yeah, like there's like the force explosion. She slammed back into the opposite wall. But so she's marking insecure. She's like, yeah, no, this is a great idea. It's like, holy shit. Like he is so strong. What the hell?
Nice.
What the space hell?
Hell is canon.
Is it? Okay.
Because the Empire Strikes Back.
I thought they renamed it.
No, Han says like, I'll see you in hell.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's right. So there you go. It's canon that the word exists. It may mean something totally different. Guys, hell could be like a lounge. We don't know. But Bitron,
Like
what
this lounge.
it could be this lounge is a hellscape. There's like one stormtrooper who's sitting at a table. If you guys hadn't noticed, and he just sips some coffee and says, "This is fine," but everything else burning around you guys. Bitron, what condition do you mark?
I figure this is guilty.
That seems accurate. Dust outside. All of you were kind of knocked down. You get cosmetic, but still definite. We could tell. Oh, you've been through some stuff. Like you've got a couple of scrapes, maybe, or maybe a rip in your clothing that's just revealing, but in an alluring way. And when you do, you see the street outside. Now it was the side of the building, right? So you can see the street of the spaceport. There are other ships that are now diverting because they see this explosion to the side, so they're diverting their landings. And that is when you guys see there is a ATST that is kind of the chicken walker. That's the two-legged AT unit that does have some really big guns on it for a thing, and it is making its way to the garrison to deal with this. So I will ask Janella, who is feeling insecure.
Yeah, a little bit.
What do you want to do?
Well, we got to get out of there, obviously. So,
Okay. So you guys,
but like, yeah, she's gonna light up her sabers. Obviously, we gotta defend my fellow students.
So you want to step out, even though you're feeling a little insecure. You're going to try to defend your
that just means I have to try harder.
Nice.
So yeah, I want to like rush at the thing. Try to like jump up to the roof to cut inside. Yeah.
Oh, that's true. You are still dressed as a stormtrooper. Do you still have your helmet, or has the explosion knocked off your helmet so we can see?
Oh, the explosion, yeah, totally knocked off the helmet.
Nice.
I mean, it's stormtrooper armor. It's not that good.
It's I don't even understand why they wear it. I guess to look like fascistic clones of each other, to be scary. I guess you're trying to defend these folks from harm. So
it's either that or do something risky. So doesn't matter to me.
I
They're
think
both
you're
the same. I
daring.
think.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff for defend someone that I like and I want to see in action.
Problem. 6. Nice.
Oh, man, it's a 6. Now, do you want to spin some pulse for a reroll?
Oh yeah, I guess I could do that.
You don't have to, but
Or do you want to spend a string?
I don't have a string on the ATST.
True,
Right.
but you're defending us. You can spend a string on one of us.
Oh, does that work?
Or we could spend a string on you.
Yeah, we
right?
can
yeah,
also
they
spin
could
a string
spin
on
a
you.
string to help.
That's true. Also
Yeah.
true.
Basically, I was asking, do you want the failure? Or do you want assistance?
Nah, well, what's the difference? I'd rather the mixed result, I guess.
Okay, so you want
Okay.
to not get an XP for the fail. You
Yeah,
want somebody to help you.
I know
push
it's
that to a
very out
7.
of character for me.
Let me help you since my forces are mainly defense.
Yeah,
So
that's your
I
thing.
will just give a little boost. I will make it so that Janella has no sense of it. And then regret that I have done that.
Can you
So-
give like? Are you cool with like doing like an extra force push to get me
Yeah,
up there?
Exactly. That's yeah. But you think you just jumped really well. That's-
Awesome.
I'm
On
okay
a
with that.
hit, you take the harm they would, and they are safe. You take the hit. And on a 7 to 9, you get to choose an option from the list below. Avoid their hits, retort back, and make the attacker mark a condition. Impress whoever you're defending and take a string on them.
Impress whoever I'm defending. I don't have many strings.
Who do you want to impress?
I gotta go. Let's go with the Drow. Drow. Yeah.
Shroud?
Wow.
Yeah.
Shroud.
The one that's like, this is a terrible idea. Also, they're like, oh, her.
Cool. So you ignite that lightsaber,
Saber.
dash along, kind of Naruto run type deal there, I guess. Go up the ATST. There's a point where you start to fall off of the leg, and Cere pushes you up a little bit, and you go up onto the top. It swings around, but you are able to keep it from harming your friends, and you jam the lightsaber into the side, and you hear you probably have hit somebody inside there because you hear someone scream out in pain, and so I think from all of that, let's say you chose to take a string, and yeah, you are going to take harm, right? Because it says you take the harm, they would.
Yep.
They are safe. So you've got your heart out, which is great news, because this is an ATST. So that is 2 harm coming your way. Does your heart give you any armor?
Yes, it does.
Awesome. So then you just eat 1. Good stuff. And so you're up there. You've got your lightsaber in. You could maybe open a hole. I'm not sure what's going on. Let's swing back down to Shroud.
Actually,
Oh, yes.
once per session, I'm gonna take less harm.
You take no harm whatsoever from attacking an ATST. This is totally a Force Unleashed Jedi Fallen Order moment, and I am here for it. We've seen it in an RPG that I've run. This is taken years to get to this moment, and we are here, friends. It's mostly because I don't allow people to play Jedi most of the time, but here I'm embracing it. Let's go with Shroud. Shroud, you see your friend Janella, she charged that ATST and saved you.
I think that Shroud has this kind of like a little bit of like force premonition type things, but like she sees that Janelle stabs the ATST and then like immediately gets the sense, oh, that thing is gonna fall and block the way out of here. We need to get past it like now. And so as it is distracted with Janella, I think I'm going to grab Cere and Vitron and just say, we got to go. Pulls out her blue lightsaber and just kind of like, it's trying to like pull them past the ATST and out before something bad happens.
Oh, that sounds cool. I think you're doing something risky, right? Because you're just trying to escape the place. There's not something coming that you're defending them from. You're just defending them by getting them out of the way. So let's have you do something risky. Roll plus cold.
And when I have my heart out, I get an extra +1 forward when doing something risky.
Perfect.
So
you're
that
rolling
is
plus 3.
6. That is a 6 + 3 is a 9.
Oh, a 9 on doing something risky. So ooh, yeah. So on a hit, you succeed at what you do, but on a 7 to 9, there will be a worse outcome, hard choice, or price to pay. All right. So here,
Do you want a string?
Oh,
Shroud?
so make it push you to a 10.
I don't think that I feel like a 10 kind of pushes us into like end the scene territory, and I don't think that we're necessarily ready to end the scene. So I'm happy with a mixed result to keep this going.
Sweet. So here's the hard choice that I have in mind. The hard choice is you can get these 2 out of here, and the 3 of you will be perfectly safe. But you're leaving Janella behind when this ATST slams into the garrison, and she will remember that. It's like
So what is the choice here that either I can get them out, or
that's a good point, or alternatively,
alternatively I stick back and try and help Janella.
Exactly.
Kind of thing.
Alternatively, you stick back to try to help Janella while Bitron and Cere going out to secure you guys some way to get the heck out of here. Yeah, thank you for making that a little bit more of a choice.
I know like she's so frustrating, but she's still my friend. I'm gonna stick back. I'm not 100% sure what this immediately looks like. I think that like, is this maybe like we get past the ATST, and then I look back and notice that Janella is like having trouble getting her lightsaber out of the thing as it's falling.
Yeah, I like that.
What do you think, Joe?
I'm totally up for it.
Nice. So
Because I'm like, I got this. I'll be fine. Then you're like, nah.
No, you're really
it's a
not.
while.
You're
It's a little, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. You've done a lot. I'm impressed with you, with your actions here. But yeah, it's not gonna go well. Shroud, you grab Bitron and Cere, lead them out of the area where the ATST is about to fall. Then you look back, you see Janella is having trouble pulling the lightsaber. This thing starts to fall. It does the like the Ewoks dropping the logs kind of thing where the legs are and it crashes to the side of the garrison. But it's about to fall right on top of you, Janella. What do you want to do? I'll let Janella act first, right? I'm not going to damsel Janella. She's done that in holovids, but not in real life. So Janella, you are possibly going to be crushed by an ATST. What do you want to do?
I want to do like a cool flip off it.
Ooh,
It's like I did this in a stunt once with
Yeah.
wires.
do
But
something.
I've got like more force now,
yeah,
right?
you've received training. You
Some
did the musical
training, maybe?
montage. You know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Do something risky. Roll with cold.
All right. So I get to mark a pulse, right? Because cold highlighter.
Oh yeah, you get to add a pulse.
All right. And my heart is out. So I got a +1 when I do something risky.
All right, that means you're rolling flat because you have a -1 normally.
9.
Ooh, a 9. Does anyone want to aid you?
I would,
would
but I
happily
don't have
do-
any strings on you.
No.
I will happily aid Janella if she would like.
Sure.
What does that look like, Stormy?
I think Janella is like about to slip, and Bitron like sees her about to do this. Like all she hears is like, "Wow, so fucking cool," or "fucking cool," and like that fan moment is like, "I've got to do this for the fans." Like gives her enough grip to get the correct foothold, kind of thing. Can't be stupid in front of these idiots.
Right. I like it. So, Janelle, you pull off this amazing acrobatic maneuver. You feel like a gentle push, and in your mind, you sense Bitron giving you that little aid, but it is impressive.
Yeah, totally. Land with a flourish and a bow.
Nice. And you see
And a wink.
So there's some
Bitron.
stormtroopers who are like rushing out of the back entrance. You guys really need to get out of here. And I think that is hey, it's escape time is our demarcation for our halftime bio break. We're back, and the four of you meet up together, run across the spaceport as you see a couple of explosions in the area where the haunted Titan had tried to cause some distractions, and it seems like they were quite distracting. And then you make your way to the place that you call home, because that's the best place to hide out, or possibly to pack up all your things and run away because of Imperials. Shroud, tell us, we'll say that this is an abandoned, basically an unused hangar that you guys call home. It's large enough space to where you can perform exercises and training and the like, and also big enough to where you can find spots to call your own. But it's a relatively open space. I imagine a 2-level thing with not a full floor. So there's a space that overlooks the first floor area, and it is a hangar big enough for you to be able to land an X-wing or something along those lines. Not a big enough, like a super gigantic hangar, but big. So Charlotte, tell me about a space in this hangar that either the place that you've made into your place to live, or a part of the hangar that is noteworthy to Shroud that she cares about.
Yeah, I love the idea of this kind of like half second floor that's almost like a catwalk that's like looking down on the rest of the hangar. And I think all of our like sleeping quarters as much as they are sleeping quarters are up there, and they're basically just like tents that are set up on this catwalk. And Shrouds is probably the farthest back, being one of the first people to set up here. She's way off in the corner, so she has to walk by everyone else's tents on the way to get to hers. But it is this like frustratingly perfect. Like, she spent way too long getting it lined up and taut and perfect and like aligned so that there was no creases in anything, and very, very structured and polished as much as a tent can be polished. And she's constantly frustrated with it and doesn't think it's good enough. And like before she goes to sleep, she'll spend like a good half an hour just like setting it to right, even though it's basically perfect.
Nice. I like that. And then Bitron, tell us a bit about either something noteworthy in this hangar you guys are currently calling home, or a bit about your personal space.
I think there's like a corner of this hangar that is like the personal space, and Bitron, again, not having much connection to his home. Like there are like what would basically be the anime equivalent of Twi'lek statues on this shelf, like those PVC kind of statues. And I think like those are like the closest. I think there's kind of like the Serenity thing. Like, there's a Twi'lek carved out of wood from one stop. There's a PVC like Bishojo Twi'lek. There's like different things he's collected to try and be like close to his people, even though it's like collectible close.
Man, that is an interesting distance. I like that.
Plus marketing for the show.
We've got to have the merch. So I appreciate you setting that up. Janella, what do we see that means something to you, or that you find interesting or noteworthy?
Oh, so I mean, like, Janella's brought like her foot locker with all of her various wardrobe changes. She always has an extensive wardrobe, but like also like, more like there's like a cast photo of Hearts of the Wulin, and like, some messages from
Yes.
her good friend. I can't remember the Ratataki from that name. Sabine played them.
Right.
Where he wore that other alien makeup.
Yes, to look like a human. That was so funny.
But yeah, like that's where like she's like, and she has the tent here, but like it's like, I stay here because they asked me to. I have my own place elsewhere, but like, all right. Like, one of the things that she always questions, like, do you guys come here on a ship? Why are you sleeping in tents?
And then Cere, what about you? What's something that you notice or care about?
Cere's thing is very much like inside of her tent. She has like silk that's black, and then there's sparkles to it, so it kind of has that look of like night sky, that kind of thing. Very like, and essentially you have that thing where she looks at it, and then you have this, she has that memory of back in her Imperial household, where even though she was practically a prisoner, she had a lovely room and everything, and in there everything was white. So this night sky is kind of, but it would also have the draperies and things like that. So it's like she's used the same shape of the draperies, but sort of her own, like the night sky now, like a freedom thing. But the other thing is she goes, because she's just seen Martine, she goes and she pulls like this very slim packet that she's hid underneath her pillow, which is just her knapsack that's been stuffed full of other clothes. And she has like a pad, clearly like something that, she wrote things in and stuff like that. But then also the thing that slips out is she has like a lovely white silk dress in there and she sort of crams it back in there. But think of like, kind of like that Princess Leia, like white dress with the two layers of, the light and the thing, like that sort of thing. And you see her kind of push that in resolutely back to pull out the pad and look some things up.
Nice. When the four of you come into the space, we see seated on the ground floor area, legs crossed with the Halixet, the space guitar, in her lap. It is an acoustic thing, but we see for the first time Doyen, Cere, JUNDA, and she is playing a song. She looks up. Have the four of you had a bit of trouble?
I wouldn't say trouble.
You say.
I was pointedly standing in front of Cere's shot shoulder.
Cere, you're hurt. Is anyone else injured? And she continues playing. She needs to finish this song before she...
Dude, the song distracts me too much, so.
I'm sorry. It is too distracting.
I mean, we gotta dust up with some Imperials, so like nothing big.
I fucked up again.
How so?
I was trying to make just like a small hole for us to escape, and now the Imperials have a big gaping wound in their place of location.
I'd say that's a feature.
I don't think I have much of a future in interior design.
He didn't.
I don't think that's you messing up.
Shroud, what is your assessment of what's happened? Did Sam freeze for everybody else?
No, I'm.
Oh wow, you were
it was just,
really
it was just
still.
Me, it was just
You
me
were
being very
so still. I'm sorry.
We're fine. We got into a mess. We didn't start the mess, but we're here and we're fine.
She sets her Halixet on the Duracrete floor and calmly stands. Cere, do you think we're going to need to leave the spaceport?
And she kind of looks at Patron, and some of us were more recognizable than others. I can see if I can smooth this over as a misunderstanding, except there were some injuries been out. You make it a little bit more difficult to negotiate.
I know that of all of us, Cere, you have the most difficult tightrope to walk.
And she sort of says, yes, I do not have such a clear version or vision of what the situation entails as some others have. And it does make it more difficult.
You say that you want to try to smooth things over, how can we help you?
In the bar, I was able to prevent any loss of life or any escalation of the situation. I do not know what the fallout is from the riot, if others were harmed. And she goes, the collateral is some time that it will take for the droids to fix a wall up, no big deal. And there's some ego involved.
Hmm.
There's a lot of ego involved.
Okay. Just a thought. Why would we want to smooth things over with the Imperial remnants?
And she sort of stops and says, because they have the power here to cause a lot of trouble and decimation, and we have no actual plan.
Well, that's why we need to stand up to them, drive them out.
She goes,
Like there can't be any peace as long as they're still around.
Want us to do? We're 5 people. Probably 4, because I don't think Cere is going to be on board with this.
I do
Maybe it's
think,
just you.
I think that freedom is important. But I also worry for the safety of the people here. And do they want to coexist with the Empire? Do they want freedom?
It's not even an empire anymore, right? They're just
Oh.
glorified warlords.
If they want freedom, then leaving them under the thumb of people who have no one to answer to anymore doesn't seem that great of an idea.
and she sort of stops and goes, I do have someone to answer to. And he is a warlord. I did not say that that is a good situation. I say that embarking on this is going to lead to a lot of blood. If we don't have a plan, it will be messier.
It's wrong. You know, I'm only kind of used to messy. I think the planning is better for y'all.
The presence of Imperials on the space station, spaceport, was low. Their intrusion into the lives of the people here was minimal. What has happened today will change that situation. But it could be a doorway to changing things for the better. It seems that it may be up to us how we will embrace or turn from this.
Yeah, but what do you think we should do? And I want to tempt the Doyen with a string I have on her for her to tell us what she would recommend for her students to do.
That is awesome because you have a lot of influence over her from our character creation. And you have 3 strings on her because she's used your powers, and that was how you guys found this place.
Mm-hmm.
So I will mark that down to 2. She says, it is likely that the 5 of us have the power to drive out the Imperials who are here. I would rather than cause the kind of destruction of which we can be capable, that we try to raise a rebellion here. This asteroid field is loosely associated with the Imperial Remnant. If the people want to declare their independence, we should support it. But if we are only going to bring about an unwanted rebellion, then we bring violence to these people that they do not embrace. I think we should speak to our neighbors.
Here. Why now? We've been through so many systems, and whenever trouble comes up, we just leave. And like, we're supposed to be, Jedi are supposed to be peacekeepers, not rabble rousers.
Maybe you should have been.
Are
And she stopped. I think Cere kind of goes, unless you have something to lose in this, you really don't have a voice in this.
I'm from here.
And she sort of looks around and says, from here, where? From this station?
I mean, I lived a lot of my life here, more than you have.
No. And she goes, well, that's excellent. Then perhaps
I've also lived under slavery because the empire existed. So
she stops and she goes, that is good. Did you know who the leaders are? The ones that we need to speak to.
yeah, I mean, speaking to the leaders, isn't it? You got to speak to the individuals. You got to like, because if the leaders don't want to do anything, but the people do, the people are more important.
Then who are the people? And how do we speak to them?
You just go up to them, talk to them.
we
Like-
have a band? Why don't we like spread a message around?
So someone had already reported that band. So there clearly are dissenters.
Yeah, but that was the those were the pirates or they're the void scabbers, right? Rich.
Actually, you got the feeling that it was the captain of the Lost Dreams, and yeah, he is a pirate.
Yeah, it's like, why would Trine looked really embarrassed when I tried to get him to dance with me. I think they called the Imperials on the band, but why would pirates work with the Imperials?
And it goes,
Probably a payoff.
And it is a mystery that we should come to understand.
Mitron will, I think, turn to Zhao. We should do something together, like the old days.
I think Cere spoke wisdom about a plan, and it seems that there is dissension among you. Shao, you are right. In times past, we have, when trouble came our way, been somewhere else. One of my older lessons on the best way to keep from being hit is to not be there. Is this the time that we stand and fight? Or do we move on? This is not a dictatorship. This is a fellowship. I think we should act in concert.
Still feel that we are creating a problem where there is none, and we are actively looking for a fight. That is not something I want to be a part of. Now, protecting people, sure, that's great. And we did that today. And our job should not be any more than that. Mediating, keeping things civil, protecting the people who can't protect themselves.
Vitron, what do you feel our duty to this spaceport is?
I don't care what our duty to the spaceport is. I care what our duty is to the people who live there. People like that are friends with Janella, that have been here before, people who might not want to be under the Imperials' rule. As Janella said, the Imperials represent slavery, and I, for one, am very, very tired of being represented by slave masters.
It is
I
a
will
sticky. Yes.
go along with you because you're my friends, and my duty to help and protect you all, but I still think this is a bad idea.
Then what is a good idea? Like what do you see? What are we being trained for? Or what are you hoping to be trained for?
And
If this was a movement already, if there was a motion of people to rise up and overthrow this Imperial force, then helping resolve that peacefully. That's our job. Keep things civil, protect people, and like be ambassadors and negotiators and use our power to help smooth things out in the galaxy. This is not that.
Yep. Will any dealings with Imperial remnants ever go smoothly?
sort
Like
of
if they're
That's
diehard
why- She
loyalists,
goes-
That's why I have this. Because they don't go smoothly, but we can take the hit when it does.
And just let me be clear, I have no problem with expelling the remnant forces from this base station. We just better have a plan, because what you did today, it was a mess.
I'm on board with Cere. I agree.
things got out of hand, but we had a plan going in. We didn't expect you to have a different plan. Like, from our point of view, you were taken, you were arrested.
I didn't realize that you were going to break in when I had the conversation with Breton. Didn't think to add that. So unfortunately, there was lack of communication, which led to, I mean, I was just going to walk out of that building. So then she kind of goes, and I'm a little worried about what was going on where the explosions were. I assume that was part of the plan.
The fighting, I guess, probably.
Okay, and she goes, so hopefully no one got hurt. Well, except for, Imperials, who cares, right? And sort of goes, and unfortunately I do. But I understand also that the Imperials, as she sort of stops, are horrible. I understand exactly how horrible they are. I've just seen the destruction that they cause. And I do not want anyone to go through their retaliation.
How about this? It it seems like there's a lot of heat going on right now. Why don't, Janella, it sounds like you know some people that we can talk to. Let's ask them if they want help instead of going to them and saying, we think you should do this. Is that a compromise?
Sure.
Where's the drow that I knew that had bite?
Consult me and you'll find out.
There we go.
Cere JUNDA nods as you guys have worked out your differences and come to some kind of compromise. But she does check in with Cere to see if what Shrow and Janella have discussed, if Cere's agreeable with the idea of fomenting a rebellion if it is desired by the populace.
Desired by the populace. I just don't want them stirring up and using the populace as shields.
Exactly. My main concern at this point is that the level of violence that was conducted this evening will invite a response. And if we leave, that response still happens. Cere, you said you wanted to smooth things over. I assume your tactics will be slightly different. Might be good if you try to understand the ramifications. Janella, Shrow, Mitron, all three of you seem in accord with speaking with the people of Spaceport Trident Vespa to see where they fall. Mitron, it might be useful to understand the motivations of the captain of the Lost Dreams, why he's thrown his lot in with the Imperials.
Is that your nudging way of saying I should go talk to them? I don't know if the captain would want to talk to me after I bore that hole through his ship.
I'm sure there's at least someone on that ship who would want to talk to you.
Vitron's face goes a different shade of red.
She smiles.
I'd like to read Junda.
Do it. Who are you trying to read?
Junda.
Oh, nice.
Well, there's the 6, so I don't.
And
Fuck off,
that
I
is-
know.
that's an XP, right?
Probably. Hey, it's my first XP.
Yay. This game is very, very low on XP. So yeah, you missed that. And I think what happens is you know,
Wait, I'm gonna spend a pulse.
okay. All right. All
You
right.
just spend 1. I don't know how that works.
Oh, good question. So
2. All right, I have 3.
Yeah,
so.
2 to reroll.
that's 2 to reroll.
Oh well, same result, I guess.
Really?
Yeah,
Failed and then failed again?
Same exact roll.
Yeah. I mean, well, it's a 5, a 4 and a 1 and a 4 and 1. Yeah, it's 2 different rolls though. You can see it in recent rolls.
Yep.
You're just bad at this.
See that? Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, that time is different, but oh well.
Yeah, keep rolling. Just see it's actual.
I just want to
random
make sure
numbers.
the dice do change. Good.
Yeah, no, I get you. I get you. Yeah, the exactly same dice was really weird.
Yeah. Oh
You-
well.
You
It's like
observe, Cere. Were you reaching out? Do you imagine with the pulse and everything, you were reaching out with the force to try to?
Yeah, like I'm like, I don't like. She sold me on a bill of goods, I thought. Now I'm trying to figure out what she's actually wants. Like, what is your you wanted to open this dream school. What is your goal?
And you reach out through the force, and she replies, my goal is to raise each of you to be the best version of yourselves. And I knew that if we did not bring Shroud along, if we told her we would fight, then her doubt would cloud her judgment. But now that all of you have talked this through, Shroud offered a compromise. I believe she's fully on board with what we are about to do. Do you understand?
Not really, but
Well, perhaps we can come to an understanding. And
it's like, what's your academy like the other ones?
and as you continue this conversation, and I think Bertrand, Shroud, and Cere, you all sense that Janella and Cere are having a bit of conversation. All four of you get well, see, there's a presence has arrived on the spaceport. Dark and malevolent presence. So Janelle, what do you do?
Just a little shudder, like looks over ominously. It's like there's like a nice lighting effect over the eyes.
Mm-hmm. And Cere, did all of you sense that? Someone is here.
Do they sense you?
I hope not. And I hope they have not sensed you, but it is possible. Well, I need to try to understand
bad feeling
what has
about this.
happened. Nice. There you go. Flip that good feeling you had earlier. So Cere seems concerned, not rattled, concerned. And Shroud, I think Cere is the one who, she's confided in you. You've been with her the longest. She's confided in you that a Padawan she once had fell to the dark side. That Padawan was killed by Darth Vader because she reached out and tried to help her Padawan see the light. And it cost her Padawan her life. So the fact that she's felt this dark presence that all of you have puts her on edge. She is concerned. We must act quickly. So, do we want to jump to Cere meeting with the commander? Nice.
I would like to do one thing before that.
Absolutely.
Just mechanical.
What's that?
I'm going to spin a string on Zhao to tempt her to back me up when I go talk to the pirates eventually. Because I need someone to watch my back. And Janella's nice, very beautiful, very talented. Maybe a bit two hotheads going to talk to pirates may not be the best thing.
I'll take that. Yeah.
Sweet.
Is this a
You
game
get
where I get an
experience.
XP for doing that?
Yes.
Good. I don't have any of those.
Yeah. So that's all I want
Love
to
it.
do.
Yay,
Go to-
XPs happen. I love
Go
it.
to Cere.
Everyone gets 1 XP every other session. So you guys will get an advance never in this game because we're only playing 4. This is an XP like game. This is one of those where I almost feel like, should there be an end of session questions to at least kick you like a couple so you can get advanced every other game? I don't know. Sorry.
We're just not rolling that many misses, so you know.
That's a good point. You guys have had several chances to roll misses. Not several chances. You had a few chances to roll misses and push them above. So that is a thing. Let's pick up with Cere. So Cere, oh yes.
I was hoping like, could we get like one-on-one scenes with the other PCs?
Absolutely.
Cool. Because I definitely want to have it out with Zhao,
Okay.
but that can wait.
Yeah. That'll be our next scene. Because
Cool.
I do think that would be really interesting. As long as it's not just yelling to people. but I think it's got some potential. That could be really cool. We pick up with, I mean, Cere, we've got this Chekhov's white dress. Is that what you're wearing to
Yes,
go to
absolutely.
dinner?
I specifically wear it so that I don't look like the Cere that other people saw, earlier. That like if they would see that and they see that dress and that fanciness, they would not recognize her so easily.
Nice. You come into this is the nicest restaurant in Spaceport, Trident Vespa. It is exclusively the patrons are all well-to-do merchants. The merchant guild runs the Spaceport, so this is the thing they set up. It's almost like an officer's quarters for the merchant guild. But now that the Imperials have have an established presence here, they also are welcome, but it's usually only the officers who can afford to eat here. And when you come in, we hear like a little maybe Princess Leia theme play in the background. And when he sees you, Martain immediately like sits up a little straighter, and he stands up as you approach and scoots back his chair and walks around. Cere, you look beautiful.
It's the last thing I have from my former life.
Well, it suits you.
She nods.
Guides you around, pulls back the chair so you could sit down, and then he moves around to take a seat. I'm sorry for the trouble that you had when you awoke. A great many things have happened.
I'm sorry that I forced my hand in that moment, but I could tell things were happening. It's because I hoped to assist in reducing any body counts.
Now, this is the narrator MC asking a
Mhm.
question. What does Martain know about
He
why
knows.
you're here?
He knows that I have the Force. I mean, he
Okay.
knows that I'm that he knows that my family, like the whole reason I was there was because I was to be a bargaining chip at some point.
And as you sit there and tell him you want to make sure that about the loss of life, you can tell he's still stressed. And he says, I think, Cere, as much as I hate to say this, I think you should leave Spaceport Trident Vespa.
Is this about the visitor that arrived today?
You felt that, right?
Oh, yes.
Warlord Zinj has Sith Inquisitors, as he calls them. I've never had the pleasure of meeting one until today.
Why today did they come?
Well, Savik is his name. Savik said he sensed the need.
Interesting.
I don't know if I believe that to be true, but it doesn't matter. It's out of my hands. He is here, and there's little I can do to make him disappear. I'm worried for you, Cere. I think you should go. I can secure you a shuttle, not Imperial, just one of the merchants.
She
I'm
sort of says,
friendly with one of the pirate
that would only
captains.
place you. And she sort of stops. Did you no favors, but she goes, that would only place you in danger. I can take care of my own accommodations. It's my duty to take care of my own accommodations.
But you will leave.
I will leave.
Good. This Savik is unreasonable. The peace that I've tried to bring to Spaceport Trident Vespa will not happen until he is gone again, and he will not leave until he has found his quarry. Is there anyone that you would be willing to part with that could placate him?
She sort of stops and says, they are me, I am them. No, cannot separate myself.
I see. Well, I pause. He pauses and he is spinning a string to
Oh,
tempt
no.
you. You will get an XP if you give him a name of somebody he can send this Sith Inquisitor Savik against.
I
don't
don't
have
have
to.
one. I don't have a name.
He has a string.
He has a string, I know, but I have no name to give it.
Oh, you have no, I mean, sure you do. You could just say, hey, you got several
Okay,
names.
then I refuse to give him
Okay,
a thing. So
there
what is
we
the
go.
fallout from that?
That's a great question. I think it's a temptation. I don't recall reading a punishment. It's just you miss out on the XP. Let me double check. Maybe I can inflict a condition on you or something like that. Okay.
By all means.
Tempt. Okay. Tempting player characters, spin a string, narrate what you want, and name what you want them to do. If they do it, cool. And if they choose not to do it, I'm on column C, row 57. If they choose not to do it, you don't get your string back. Okay, so it just looks like it's not a force. It's not a mind control. It's just
No, but it is disappointing for him. And she,
yeah. Of course, he's disappointed.
and she sort of turns and says, if I give you any name, it would be my own. And she kind of goes, just as much I want you safe, and I recognize that you are in danger. Under no circumstances make any move to protect me. Now spend that string on him.
Ooh, so you're spinning your string to do not
Yes.
protect me.
Yeah.
Any move that I make to try to protect you would endanger you further. It's best if I remove myself from the situation as much as possible.
Perfect.
He'll take the string. His logic being, yeah, this guy will sniff me out anyway. So you have spoken wisdom that he hears. Can you at least hide for some time? Best if I don't know where you are.
I can make myself invisible too.
Good. Well, let's enjoy this meal.
I was looking at the appetizers.
So we'll cut away with the two of you having a tragic last meal. And I think, Janella, you wanted to talk to Shroud, so let's do a follow-on scene to that. Shroud, where is it that Janella confronts you, or where does she find you when you have this conversation?
I think Shroud has stormed off after this kind of confrontation that we all had. And Janella would probably find me. I'm assuming that, so my kind of envisioning of this place that we're living is the functionality of a 2-car garage. So you've got this very small ship kind of on half of it, and the other half is like a training area.
Totally. Yeah.
Like somebody would have a gym set up in their garage. And so I feel like there would be like a meditation area, like a place to kind of connect with the Force, and so I'm there meditating as Janella finds me.
So we need to have a conversation, I think.
Do we? I thought we just did.
I think we need to have a different conversation.
And she steps down. She was doing the thing where like balancing on a very small rock, steps down off of it. Clearly not going to get any meditation until we have this conversation. So
What? So I can understand not wanting to get mixed up into trouble. You know, that's not really me, but and you said, I understand helping people when they ask for it, but what do you do when someone's too afraid to ask?
there's a difference between being too afraid to ask and putting words in someone else's mouth.
Okay, I agree to that. What about people where they're just resigned and they don't believe there is any hope? Like, shouldn't we be the hope?
I don't know. I don't think that that's our, and you can Shroud is like visibly struggling with this. Maybe it's the fact that we exist that needs to be the hope, and just if people know that it will be support if they need it, that is hope, right? If you knew that there
That
was
didn't
someone
work in
out
the
there who
past,
could,
though. Like, you've been studying the history, right?
it work.
Did it? Because
think
they
it
all
did.
fell.
Yes, because people gave up, and
Like, actions speak louder. Like, we need to prove that we are here to help. Like, I've known some people that have taught me about the Force and that, claim that they were Jedis in the past. But like, as far as I can tell, everyone decides what Jedi they want to be, because based off the previous regime or whatever, like, that didn't work. And like, what's the type that you want to be, I guess, is what I'm trying to figure out.
I feel like that's a good spot to roll and try and soothe the heart because I'm very insecure right now and I'm questioning everything.
Okay, sure.
And I think that is something that like be the Jedi you want to be is a very good like.
Okay, yeah, totally.
do
I'm
that.
up for that.
Cool.
So
So soothe the heart.
roll plus pulse.
Yep, you roll plus your current pulse.
Right. Haha, 5.
5.
I've got strings, so I've got 3 strings, so
Oh yeah. Well,
I'll
You can
spend 2. Yeah.
spend 2 of them
Okay.
to add +1. Yeah.
there you go. So on a 7 to 9, you get to choose. So on a 7 to 9,
Is there a miss result? I should have checked that first.
there is no stated miss result.
Okay, yeah.
I get a move. I get a reaction or move. On a 7 to 9, you have to spend a pulse for each option that you choose. You can clear a condition, or you can help them to erase 2 harm.
Do they have harm? They
I don't have any harm.
Shroud
I do
does have
have
harm.
insecure, which I think this makes
Yeah.
sense.
I'll spend that pulse, help you clear insecure.
Cool.
And yeah, I think Shroud like kind of like smiles and shakes her head a little bit. I mean, I don't disagree with a lot of what you're saying. Like,
And what do you
yeah,
want?
be the Jedi we need to be. And yeah, of course. But I
You need to relax more, Drought. Like, not everything falls on you.
have you met me?
Yes, that's what I'm saying this.
It's gonna take a lot more than a conversation to make me relax, but I'll at least I'll go along with your
Don't
idea.
worry, I will help you with that in the future.
Oh no. Does this mean another spa day?
Girl, no, we're gonna get drunk.
Oh no.
And don't forget, Shroud could attempt to. Janella is a little bit of insecure as well, so you could.
I
flip
think
around.
that makes sense. Maybe this like kind of like pacifying, going along with it. Do you think that would help soothe the relationship?
I think so. Like, I mean, you're being honest, which
Yeah.
is pretty nice.
Okay, so let me
Like, you let your
roll.
walls down, basically.
I also rolled a 5, but I have 3 pulse, so that brings it up to an 8.
Nice. An 8 means you got to spend a pulse to do it, but you can help Janella to clear her condition of insecure.
Yeah,
Or-
I'll spend a
or
pulse
my
to do-
harm.
Or
You
your
do
harm.
have 1 harm.
You can spend 2 pulse and do both.
Yeah, let's do that. So I think maybe we end the scene with
Like we meditate together, maybe.
oh, I like that. I was that works. Or the other option is like I noticed that your shoulder is still like dislocated from the. I think you got that harm. When did you get that harm?
That was in the
first
bar.
session?
That was
That
definitely in the bar.
fight.
Yeah.
Look,
Look, if you wanted to like do Monster Hearts Central Healing, I'm always on board. That's what this game is slightly based off of.
Yeah. I do like the we sit down and meditate together scene. That is very cute. But yeah, I'll
Nice.
spend 2 pulse and you can clear insecure and any harm that you have.
Nice. Thank you.
Looking at time, I think we've got room for one more scene. I'd love for Bitron to get a scene here. Ferret, what do you think?
I think he's been psyching himself up to go deal with the pirates, but I think like he's outside the hangar when Cere is coming back after her dinner or her meeting with Martine. And I think like there's this moment where Bitron's like, walking around and he sees Cere dressed up like he's never seen her dressed up before. And there's just like that jaw drop moment of like, it's like, oh, I wonder who that is. That's Cere?
Yeah, I think she catches sight of you and she goes, what?
You're and he says like this word in Twi'lek, which like I think like would translate like effortlessly elegant.
Oh. And she sort of stops because she understands it, but she actually has to work through like, like when you took Spanish for a year. And this sort of
And like
thing.
the word doesn't have a direct translation anyway, so it's like, oh, that.
And she sort of like bows like really elegantly, actually, like, to you and stands up and she's, thank you. I appreciate the compliment.
I've never been able to do anything like that.
It just takes practice, lots and lots of practice per time.
I've tried practicing. I'm just a brick. You throw me at things and hope it takes care of the problem.
And there's their problem. It's because you think of yourself that way. Think of yourself as elegant. And she'll come over and she'll take your hand. She goes here. And she will like show you how to stand.
Yeah, I think it's like it's really awkward, like getting a stick to stand in a different position.
Exactly. And she sort of laughs and she goes, that is all your conception of yourself. She goes, I'm sitting right here, so stand like you're me.
He'll look at her, he'll attempt to. I think he'll even do the thing like try to like shake his head really exotically to get the Leku to like swirl around him.
Mm-hmm. And she sort of stops and she goes, yeah, see, already better. She goes, being elegant is just visualizing elegance. She goes, it's just like the Force. And then I think she'll reach out and she'll kind of run her hand across your, like along your spine, and sort of straighten you up. Like you can feel the Force where she's like, there. She goes, see?
Ooh, do you think you are soothing me now?
Yes.
Yeah, that feels perfect as a setup.
She sort of stops and she goes, if we work together, we can get through this. And you can be who you want to be, Raton. Brave and certain. And have things turn out the way you'd hope they would.
You're rolling +4.
Cool. All right, I'm going to roll 2d6 and add 4 to it. It's a good thing I have 4 to add, so that gives me 9.
There you go. So on a 7 to 9, you can spend a pulse and knock out Vitron's guilty condition. He
Yeah,
has no harm.
no problem.
Okay, is that and I think Bitron will like look really pleased, really like he's actually getting this, and then he'll I think like, there's like a moment where he'll like look over at Cere and then just like kind of like curious, like how do you do it? How do you keep your mind so calm and serene? When we touched today, it was like effortless again.
She sort of steps. She goes, it's the one thing I carried away from my first master.
You're really good at lots of things. I'm glad you joined us. Janelle and I get along really well, but I'm glad you're here for Zhao. We don't get along that well anymore.
And she sort of stops and she goes, Shrawa is balancing a lot of things at once. What they feel inside and what they think they ought to feel. What they want and what they think everyone else wants.
Zhao's like me. I think that's why we were such good friends at first. I mean, she's a Ratataki who's peaceful. I'm a Twi'lek who's clumsy. We kind of matched.
If you're feeling uncertain about it, it means that Shrawa is too. You should reach out to.
Yeah, I think this is like when Shroud's coming out to like go to the pirates, and Bitron will just hug Cere and try to soothe her. Yeah, as I'm watching time as well, but with my Rising Storm, I get to roll this with a +1 and hope for no 12.
Good luck.
Oh, barely scraping by. That is a 10. Add one more to the Rising Storm.
Oh my goodness, your Rising Storm is such a promise that must be fulfilled. Did we create? We should create a little place where are you tracking that number?
Notes.
I may change that starting stats and just make a space for you there. So we've got it right there at the top where it can intimidate everyone.
Because I can have up to 12 Rising Storm holds.
Wow. Cool. So with a 10+, you can just choose. You don't have to pay pulse.
Yeah, I will. I think she has a. Do I get both options?
On a hit, you may choose up to 2 from below.
Yeah, I will. I will heal both her conditions then, if that is what she would like.
Certainly.
You can choose the same option twice, so you totally can do that.
Yeah, I think he'll then run up to or jog up to Zhao as it's time for them to head off to the pirates, and that'll. He will look calmer than he has in a long time, and be ready to go off towards adventure.
Nice. We will end it there. Not a big dramatic ending, but an ending of hope. You guys are doing stuff together. I'm excited to see where we go from there. I did create a hold 5, so I'll just get that 5. All right, let's end of session. Is there end of session stuff? I don't think there is, but I'd rather take a moment and make sure. We didn't even explore the downtime moves today, and that was a big opportunity missed for me. I'll make that a wish. Downtime moves is a thing I'd like to see in play, and we kind of hit that several times. We also had intimacy moves. You trigger a moment of intimacy with someone, you may spend 1 pulse to increase their pulse by 1. Huh, interesting. There's a lot going on. There's all this little side passages and moves. Cool. Let's do wishes and stars. We start with wishes so we can end with stars. Who would like to lead us off?
I'm wishing for a scene with Cere and Janella because, they got issues too. So
That sounds great to me. Any other wishes?
Perfect.
I mean, a downtime move sounds fun, but things are hyping up, so it's going to be harder and harder to figure out when to do a downtime.
Agreed. You do it when you guys are all caught in an Imperial cell. Thank you so much, Joe. So Seam, Sherry, or Ferret who'd like to go next with wishes.
Ken. I am really looking forward to, how do you say, cat and mouse with Savet, and trying to figure out how to take care of the immediate threat that he is.
Awesome. I look forward to that as well. Then Sam or Farrad, who'd like to go next?
I'm looking back at my intimacy move, and I really wish we had remembered to use those. But wishes, I guess. I want to have a one-on-one scene with Cere JUNDA at some point. Doesn't have to be next session, but before the end of this thing. I'd like to do that. Because I want to have that kind of blow up fight that gets resolved, because I feel like that's where that's going. And then I'm looking forward to having fun intimidating some pirates. I think that'll be a good time.
You know what? All four of you definitely hit intimacy scenes with the last two scenes we had. Just so we can see that how it affects the fiction, can we let's quickly walk through those, and then Sawyer, I want to hear your wishes after we do that. So Bitron had intimacy with Cere. You have intimacy with someone, they must choose to either increase or decrease the number of raising storm holds you have by one. So Sherry, do you want to increase Bitron's raising storm by one or decrease it by one?
I think we went like a mega storm, so I think I increased it by one.
Crazy.
Nice. Now I have +2 to all my rolls. Yay!
Yay! The 12 is not far from here.
I'm so scared, but also excited. All right. So for Janella, you had intimacy with Shroud. You realized something new about your heart, something you could implement or a new way to use it. Choose a heart extra from their playbook and keep it until you have intimacy with someone else. So like 5 minutes. Okay.
Mine, I have to choose from a list, so you can move on. But
Yeah.
I'm looking at their
fair.
extras. So.
Okay. I think what we'll do there is if you have an extra you know you're never gonna take, we'll just copy and paste it over. Intimacy for Shroud, which you had with Janella. If you reject a moment of intimacy with someone, they lose a string on you. I don't think you rejected it though, right?
There's a second part of that that says if you do have a moment of intimacy, they get 3 strings on me.
Oh my goodness, Janella, you finally got strings. 3 strings.
You spent a bunch and you get them all back.
And then Cere, hold one when you have intimacy with someone. You may mark a condition and spin that hold to instantly appear in a scene when they need you. Oh man, this piracy has to go terribly.
Yeah. Which means it has to go before the Janella and Cere scenes.
Yep. All right. Thank you guys for letting me backtrack. I hope that you enjoyed the payoff because that's some cool stuff. Sawyer, aka Ferret, aka my buddy. What wishes do you got?
I want to see how Drow will react to Bitron and Trine, because I know that that intimacy question for the strength beginning to see how Bitron's like moving on without her kind of thing. And I just want more scenes with everyone, like Cere, JUNDA, and all the other people. I love my scene with Cere. I want to see what destruction Janella and Bitron would get to across with if they were just by themselves.
It'd be an action Jackson kind of move. Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Be wild. Awesome.
But yeah, I guess that means I also start with stars.
Yeah, let's kick us some stars.
I loved Janella's effortless backflip off the machine today. Just cool. the action scene from our action girl protagonist, very great. Cere, just again, like I need to figure out what that word of effortless elegance would be. It's like, yeah, I have the force. You're in the medical bay now. I'm not going to give you those answers. You need to leave me alone. Okay, I got what I wanted. I will leave now. And I have never seen a Ratataki in over their head. I feel very bad for Zhao, and it makes me want to see her more in over her head. It's been fun. And Rich, thank you for all the wonderful hard moves we gave you today.
Thank you guys for rolling not greatly. Cool. Thank you, Ferret. Sam, what about you? Got any stars?
Oh, I had a blast. This was fun. Special stars to Sherry for just like that. That is such a fun scene of we're here to rescue you. I didn't want to be rescued. What are you doing? I love that. That was so good. I really enjoyed Janella's taking down the ATST. That was very, very fun. And it's so good when the Storm character gets to blow something up and it goes terribly. I'm in a Masks game right now, and I'm waiting for that to happen with and it's just so satisfying when it actually does, and I had a good time with that. So thank you all.
Cool. Thanks, Sam. Sherry, got any storms?
Stars. I do have
Stars.
stars. I have to say that first terrible moment with Brask was awesome. Where I think it was Brask, the guy who shot me, the Trandoshan, where I was like, and I missed it, and then you had all the damage and all that stuff. It rolled out excellently. It was the perfect thing of just going, and making everything seem worse but still. I got the one thing. He actually got the hint. So that I appreciate that so much. I big points to Janella for being effortlessly certain about everything that she was certain about. There's just it's one of those character traits that's so anime and so perfect to react to. I loved Shroud for Shroud's beautiful struggles with articulating what they think they are supposed to be, what they're trying to be, and meeting Janella, who is the juggernaut. There's just that beautiful. It was really good interaction. And Breton is the hothead with a big heart, and it was a lovely to see. Always love that part of a character, to get to have those moments. You guys were all awesome today. Really loved it.
It was strong. And Joe, any stars left on the table for you?
Yeah. I'll be quick. The big dramatic argument scene in front of the teacher. Like, no, we need a plan. I'm like, do we though? We should
That
leave.
was fun.
Should we though?
Oh, that was good. That was really good. I really enjoyed today's session. Thank you all so much. With that, I will bring the recording to a close, and we'll play next week.